Start winning at the races with Daily Racing Form's new mobile pass performances, featuring exclusive buyer speed figures and expert analysis and selections. Go to drf.com/best and get the power of DRF in the palm of your hand. Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer for Kentucky Derby Prep Recap. This week, we're going to take a look back at the Los Alamitos Derby on the 4th of July. 20 Kentucky Derby qualifying points to the winner. Only a field of 4. We break from the gate. Bob Baffert has the 2 horses in the outside gates. He has the 3,000 Words, who has not raced since the Arkansas Derby, and he's got the favorite, Uncle Chuck, off an impressive debut win. Uncle Chuck broke sweetly. I like what Luis Saez did, Mike. He sort of gave him a few strides to find his stride, and now he's going to track Great Power from the outside.
Yeah, and Saez is also going to, make sure to keep this horse well out into the track. It's almost like the plan was not to have him get engaged on the pace too early in this race. And he did settle pretty nicely here, Dan, just tracking the pace up the backstretch.
This is a legitimate pace for this distance, 22-3 for the opening quarter. Uncle Chuck comfortable in the clear. And 1,000 Words, a horse that was a very good 2-year-old and kind of just didn't go forward in his first few starts at 3. He's sitting a pretty comfortable trip here in the back by himself behind this solid pace.
Yeah, he gets a really nice ride here from Flavien Prat, too. They're just going to settle back off of it last, and he's just going to follow his stablemate all the way around the track, Dan, and then take a shot at him coming to the stretch.
And we're going to see it's a pretty good shot. Uncle Chuck's going to make his winning bid here. He's going after Great Power at Ernest on the turn. Great Power, to his credit, battles back for a little while. Here comes 1,000 Words, and he looms to the outside of Uncle Chuck's flank. Uncle Chuck, considering his inexperience in this long stretch, Mike, he looks good flicking away this threat from 1,000 Words.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you saw him just sort of gallop up alongside Great Power on the second turn like he was going to win for fun. When 1,000 Words challenged him, though, I like the way he dug in, Dan. And I like the way he finishes this race, too. He's going to go back to his wrong lead here, but he does not stop running. It looks like he has a lot more in the tank here under the wire.
It certainly does, and he earns a 94 buyer speed figure. Not bad at all for only his second lifetime start. Obviously, first time out of the maiden ranks and going 1 1/8. Uncle Chuck, no curveballs here for Baffert. 2 for 2 in his career, $120,000 in earnings. And the question is, where do you go next? If you want to run in the Kentucky Derby in 2020, there's likely one more prep race for Uncle Chuck. It's either the Shared Belief at Del Mar, or do you take on 'Tis the Law in the Travers going 1 1/4?
Well, I don't know. I guess it depends on if Baffert wants to ship him and then wants to go 1 1/4, because neither one's going to be an easy spot. And we'll just see what happens. This horse, I'm sure Baffert's pretty high on him. It's nice to be Baffert when, all your top contenders for the Derby fall by the wayside and you got an Uncle Chuck sitting in the barn to back him up. This horse looks like he has a ton of upside, Dan. Wherever he goes next, I think you have to take him very seriously.
This is a son of Uncle Mo, a $250,000 yearling out of the very productive Grade 2 stakes-winning Sprint Dam Forest Music. Uncle Chuck is the 3rd graded stakes winner, foaled by Forest Music, behind the Grade 3 Router Electric Forest and the Grade 3 Sprinter Kentuckian. Uncle Chuck wins this race impressively by 4. I thought 1,000 Words ran well enough, Mike. Probably not for a race like the Travers or the Kentucky Derby, but well enough where Baffert could probably feel confident in putting him in a smaller race, a Grade 2 and a Grade 3, and maybe coming up with a victory next time. I think at least this was a step in the right direction after a couple of disheartening performances.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. A little bit of a bounce back race for him. Unfortunately for 1,000 Words, Baffert's just got too many good ones, and he's not nearly as good as his stablemates, but this horse, he did take a step in the right direction here.
Again, 94 buyer for Uncle Chuck, either the Shared Belief at Del Mar, the Travers at Saratoga. If all goes well in either one of those races, it's likely on to the Kentucky Derby. Undefeated Uncle Chuck, 2 for 2 in his career, winner of the Los Alamitos Derby.